Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the UI and the internals of the Huawei T-Mobile Comet, and this is part 2 of the video. So this is running, again, Android 2.2, and as you can see, all the buttons are backlit now. And you have 5 home screens. It's a little bit more customized by Huawei, not too much. You still have the standard UI from the drop-down notifications and the smoother transitions from 2.2, and you have all these built-in things. The screen is fairly bright, it's easy to read. It's not the highest resolution as you might expect. It's only 320 by 200, and you can definitely see a little bit of pixelation, especially since it's so small, but it's okay for most instances. You can definitely browse the web and access YouTube video. There's also an FM radio that's built right on in. Not too much extras. You have document viewer, you have email, Gmail, you have maps right on in. You have latitude, Google services, of course. Marketplace, you have the navigation by Google, messaging, my device from T-Mobile, news and weather, there's Notepad, and of course there's Swipe, Twitter, Telenav, GPS, and YouTube. So taking a look at, let's see, news and weather, you can take a look at the notifications and check out top weathers and top stories. This is a pretty cool app. Definitely give you updated information in terms of top stories on the US, the sports, your entertainment, Disney's Brave, Katy Perry, and we have all these stories that are updated and pretty easy to see. So the home screen, it's pretty easy to use. As again, we have the live home screen on. This is the Nexus theme. You can definitely tell that there's a little bit of, usually when it's running, there's no problem, but when we slide and transition, there's a little bit of lag. You can definitely see that, and it shows a little bit of processor speed. Battery life on this device is pretty good. It's really nice. We've definitely lasts us through a few days of usage, and that's pretty impressive for this type of device. It's probably helped by the smaller screen, but it does have Wi-Fi, again, GPS, and Bluetooth built right on in, so you do have all the weather, you do have all the Google services, we do have all the navigational stuff, so it's pretty easy to use that way. Not all widget built in, but you can adjust, of course, the customization for the folders and all the dialer pad and the stuff. So if we go into the settings and we actually we turn off that and we turn on Wi-Fi, we can actually go and browse the web. So Wi-Fi does allow you to actually access free Wi-Fi from home, so that's pretty cool and pretty cool feature. Calling people, the call quality is a little bit tinny on our side. That said, a speakerphone is pretty loud, and when you're playing music and stuff, especially with the micro SD card slot on the back cover, it's pretty easy to use. So now we're going to show you the swipe keyboard. Like if we go to OS reviews. No, as you can see, because it's not something that's searched for. But if we go to Google, just go to google.com really fast, and that's the swipe keyboard, and we can go search Comet, and we'll see how fast it is to do that. And it's loading, and it's fairly respectable, as you can see. It's actually surprisingly decent for a 528 megahertz phone. It's pretty slow in that aspect, but it's loading pages at a pretty nice speed too. You won't be too disappointed. Of course, you do have the full accelerometer, and you can play all the famous games like Angry Birds and all the services like that. So transitioning between pages does take a little longer, which is, some people might not like it, but that's that. If we search our site. And of course, we're searching this right now without searching in the YouTube and seeing our channel, and just giving you a look at that. So accelerometer, again, it works. It's basically with the whole entire vibe of its phone. All the features work. They're pretty cool and they're pretty polished. You've got all the features of most smartphones have these days. It's going to take a little while though, due to a little bit of a smaller screen and a more optimized processor. But that said, everything still functions, and it's still relatively fast, relatively swift. It's not as slow, it's not as bad as you might think. Even though it's capacitive though, the screen does not have multi-touch, so you can't actually zoom in and out. But see, scrolling is really responsive, and reading text is fairly easy to see, and especially once rendered for mobile sites, it's still a very nice experience overall to browse the web, to access email, and to type on this device, and the accelerometer does aid with that. So the Marketplace still gives you full access, like we talked about, to all your favorite apps, like Burn the Robe. We do have access to, again, Angry Birds, and all the apps are run on Android 2.2, which is not the latest Android version, but and we're not sure if the update will be available, but whatever the case, we'll definitely be keeping you posted. But that's basically it. The Huawei T-Mobile Comet. It's free on contract if you buy this with a 2-year contract on T-Mobile, and for that, it's a pretty budget Android handset. It does what Android does, and it has a super small design, and everything works pretty nicely. It's just all about the design, all about the fact that it's not for everybody who wants power usage. But overall, it still has its audience. However, it's more recommended for the pay-as-you-go service because it's unique. As an Android handset on pay-as-you-go, it's a lot better deal than if you buy it on contract, which you can get better deals with the 2-year contract plan. There's a lot of free phones out there, but if you buy it for free with no contract, just it might not be the best deal. But if you buy it with if you buy it as pay-as-you-go, it might be a better phone and a better idea because you're not tied in, and it's a pretty cool Android device, and you're not paying too much either. So that's it. T-Mobile Comet. Thank you for watching here at osandvtxreviews.com.